This time on Beat Up Builds, we build a big exhaust from the 4Runner. Alright guys, we're here. The new shop. It's like 20 degrees out. I have a heater in here. I'm not freezing my butt off. This is great. So I'm moved in. There's still always stuff to do. You'll be unpacking boxes years later that you forgot about. But I'm moved in at this point, I guess. There's still a lot to do, but I want to make some videos. I want to get back on the truck. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to actually do the exhaust before I do the supercharger here, do the bracketry. So this exhaust is a little tiny pea shooter about that big. It's like 1 7/8 or 1 3/4. Probably fine for the power that it makes, but I need to redo it anyway. It's totally hacked together. I didn't have a welder. There's clamps everywhere. There's leaks everywhere. It's rusty. There's old pipe, new pipe. It's just a mess. There's a leak by the oxygen sensor, so that's probably not, helping anything out. So I got a 2.5 inch piping kit. I'm going big. Bigger is better, right? So I'm going to put a 2.5 inch exhaust pipe on here, and that'll help the supercharger breathe. So I'll do that, and then we're going to start working on the bracketry for the supercharger. All right, guys, let me give you an idea of what this thing sounds like currently. It's 9 o'clock at night, so I'll idle it a little and just give it a couple blips, and then that's it. I don't want to be too annoying to the neighbors. Pretty bad. I think all of these have little pinhole leaks. I don't know if the muffler maybe leaks now. There's some leaking there. Definitely some leaking here. It's not the best. But I tell you what we're gonna do. We're gonna channel our inner delinquent, and we're going to cut it off and start up with no exhaust. It's not going to run great. There's no exhaust sensor. Sorry, neighbors. So what I'd like to do is use this stock manifold, and then coming out of it, it's got like a Y pipe. I want to cut the 2 inch to fit that, and then put a V-band about where I cut it off, and then build the exhaust from there back. So I'm going to take the manifold out, hopefully, and then build off of it that way. This thing's a potato chip. Pretty sure it was leaking. I was chasing a valve train noise. And I adjusted the valves and stuff. Everything seemed fine, and I came to the conclusion that it was probably an exhaust leak, either due to my not so great exhaust, or maybe this was leaking. I'm pretty sure this was leaking. Looks pretty bad. This is about 5 years old. I have another one here. It's got indents in it, so I bolted it on, but it doesn't look like I ever ran it. I don't know if I have no idea what I used it for, but I'm probably gonna put this in, and then maybe I'll get something a little better, because this did not hold up very well after 5 years. It's essentially like feels like a potato chip. So this is the exhaust manifold. It looks like it was leaking, just like the gasket indicated. So I think the manifold's actually a really nice design. I think it flows pretty well. It's just it necks down here, basically. So I'm hoping the 2.5 I can like splice in here, maybe. I don't know if I want to get too nuts getting up into here. I'll have to figure it out, because it's gonna be hard to like weld a plate in here, I think. If it's like comes up here or something and there's a gap. So I'll have to figure it out. I guess I'll try and cut it in this area and do that. I don't know. And the other trick of it is I need to try and keep like this same profile, because there's like a bracket on the bell housing that I'd like to not take off because it holds the dipstick. So those are my challenges. I guess let's start cutting. Alright, I hacked the end off. It's looking like this. I measured the ID. This is an inch and a little over an inch and a quarter on the inside. So an inch and a quarter plus an inch and a quarter is 2.5 inches. So as long as I can get this sealed up nice, this is gonna flow awesome. Alright, I got it welded together. I put a V-band on the end. I think it's gonna flow really good. I already had white and I had brown high temp paint to choose from. I chose the brown. I had it because the last place we rented, I was playing with colors, painting the radiators or whatever. So yeah, I had brown left over. I figured, hey, the brown's close to the rust color of the manifold. I thought white would look kind of odd. I think it looks kind of good. It's gonna flow good. I'm gonna let this dry and then I can put it in the truck and go from there on the exhaust. All right, it's about midnight, so I'm not gonna be able to do this long, but I have the manifold with the new downpipe bolted up. I'm gonna start it up and just see what it sounds like, and then maybe rev it once and turn it off because it is pretty late. That is a lot louder. I got a flange cut out for the oxygen sensor. I'm gonna weld the bolts to it, and I'm gonna weld this pipe to it. And then I'll cut the pipe maybe an inch long or something like that, just to make it easier to weld on. It's not ideal, you really do want the oxygen sensor like right in the stream of the exhaust, but I think it'll be fine. It's been had an exhaust leak next to it forever, so I think this will be okay. I think it'll work for now. Alright, I got my flange welded on here. Halfway decent-ish. Yeah, should work pretty good. Holes line up, that's great. I cut this end a little shorter. I think the cat's gonna go right on this end here. Kind of where the factory went, and we're gonna go from there. Alright, it's coming together. I got the pipe from there to the oxygen sensor mount. Then I put the cat on. It's a $20 cat from Amazon. There's actually something inside of it. I don't know if it does anything, but there's something in there. And then this is not the muffler. I just put a glass pack on to help quiet it a little bit more. And then next will be the muffler, but I think I need to come up just a little bit. I'm gonna lay it up there and just see how it sits right now, and then we'll try and put that muffler on there. Alright, this is what I have so far. I have to go to work tomorrow. It's late tonight. I gotta wrap it up. But this looks really good so far. I was gonna just put brown paint on the welds, but then I figured it'd be funny to kind of just paint it all brown so it looks rusty. So I did that quick, and then I'm gonna bolt this up, and I'm just gonna, it'd be really loud with just this, so I'm gonna put the other muffler on, just slip it in with a clamp, and then like tie up the muffler so it's got another hanger in the system, and call it a day for now, and then try and finish it next weekend or during the week a little bit or whatever. But this is what I have so far. It's looking pretty good. It's gonna flow a heck of a lot better, that's for sure. We got the exhaust on. It's looking really good, and then kind of half-assing it here. That's what we got. Got to work, you know, no big deal. Alright, I'm gonna just roll footage as I pull it out and just see how it sounds that way. I haven't even started it. to see how it sounds. It's late. I'm done for the night. Just gonna pull it out, ready for work tomorrow. All right, it sounds cool. I thought it was loud at first, but I think it's just like throatier because it's a bigger pipe. I don't think it's like crazy loud. Now granted, I haven't like drove it around really. I just kind of putted around. It sounds cool so far, and then like a tailpipe will make it quieter too. I've noticed if you have no tailpipe out of your muffler, it's quite a bit like louder and obnoxious. So that'll help too, but we'll get to that soon. All right, guys, it's a new weekend here. We're back to work on this more. One thing I want to tell you guys, I don't think I mentioned it yet in this video. I found out the glass pack and the turbo muffler that I already had, they actually turned out to be 2¼ inch. So it's 2½ to the cat, and then the mufflers are 2¼ So it's not really true 2½. So that's a kind of a fail on my part. But I already had the mufflers. They were very gently used. It made sense to use them. I'm a little upset they're not 2½. I don't even know why we have 2¼ mufflers. I don't know. It's either just go to the 2½, go from 2 to 2½. Like, don't mess around 2¼ so I don't know why we have them, but whatever. That's what's on there. So I drove it for a week, and it sounds awful. It drones really bad. Everything shakes in the cab. Sounds really bad in all the RPMs you're kind of normally driving in. Until you floor it. Then it gets actually quieter, I think because the drone stops, and it sounds really good. And if you go under an overpass, or under an overpass, it sounds fantastic. That echo sounds really good. Before it sounded like a farting mail truck. Now it sounds like a throatier, like 4-cylinder, like a deeper sound. Is something a little bit less embarrassing, I guess. It's still embarrassing as a 22RE, but yeah, it just sounds a little more gruntier. So I'm confident with the tailpipe. It's gonna sound fantastic. So let's get into it. Let's make the tailpipe for it and see how it sounds. So my plan here is to do a 45 out of the muffler. I'm gonna use this band clamp. I tried it on the muffler because the expanded on the 2¼ muffler is really close to the non-expanded 2½ size, and it was just too loose. It's like 1/10 of an inch smaller, something like that. It's very,
small amount. I was hoping it would take it up, but it didn't. So what I did is I ran a bead of weld around, so that should take it up. And then I'm gonna try and use these hangers here to hang the 45. And then the end of the tailpipe's gonna have a hanger, so the whole tailpipe will hang. And then I can always like hang that and like change the mufflers out down the road is my plan.
Got the tailpipe finished. The hangers in there, I think it's round. This side has a turn down. So it turns down at the end. Kept it very simple. That's how she looks. Kind of hidden. Wasn't trying to be super flashy. It's kind of like a turn down sort of thing going on. Let's see how this sounds. All right, it's about 1, 2 in the morning. Let's start this thing up, see how it sounds. That's awesome. Wow, that sounds so good. I can't wait to drive it. I'm amazed. That sounds really good. For the size of the pipe and everything, it's quiet, not too loud, but it's got a good tone. All right, guys, I went to the store today, and this thing sounds exactly the same as when I started, minus the exhaust leak. So it still sounds like a farting mail truck. I think that's just how it's going to be. Mainly, I think because I want to keep it quiet as well. I think that's part of the reason that it's just sounds that way. The automatic doesn't help either. It's just kind of like a boat driving by or something like that, you know. But I think other than that, I'm ultimately happy with it. I like that it's quiet. I think once the supercharger's on there, we're going to be able to hear the whine a little bit more. So anyway, hopefully you guys enjoyed the video. A like, comment, subscribe, and stay tuned. The next one is the supercharger, I promise.